প্রিয় দর্শক আসসালামু আলাইকুম ভিশন ফর সাকসেসে স্বাগতম। দর্শক, আমরা সবাই চাই সফলতা, কিন্তু সফলতার জন্য কি প্রস্তুতি প্রয়োজন? সফলতার কোনো শর্টকাট পথ আছে কি? উদ্যোক্তা সৃষ্টির মাধ্যমে ক্ষমতায়ন, এই ভিশনের আলোকে স্বনির্ভর কমিউনিটি সৃষ্টির লক্ষ্যে ভিশন, প্রস্তুতি, সফলতা এইসব নিয়েই কোর ভিশন ফাউন্ডেশনের আয়োজন ভিশন ফর সাকসেস। আমাদের আজকের অতিথি নিউ ইয়র্ক সিটি ডিপার্টমেন্ট অফ ইউথ অ্যান্ড কমিউনিটি ডেভেলপমেন্ট এর কমিশনার বিল চং। Hello, Commissioner. Welcome to Vision for Success.
Thank you for inviting me.
Darshak, Bill Chong has been appointed as Commissioner by the New York City Mayor de Blasio in January 2014. Prior to that, Bill Chong served as Deputy Commissioner for Program Operations at the Department for Aging. In 8 years at Department of Youth and Community Development, Chong was a leader in implementing a lots of programs serving more than 630,000 youth. He partnered with NYCHA, the park departments, the Department of Education to fund over 500 programs across the city, helping reach disadvantaged youth. He also served as Vice President for programs at the Citizen Committee for New York City. Hello, how are you today?
All right, I think the most important thing in my past that I think your viewers should know is that actually I was just thinking about it. 36 years ago this month, I could look back and say that was the first step I took towards my career in public service, because I became a volunteer with a grassroots community organization in Chinatown called Asian Americans for Equality. It had no money, no staff. We relied on volunteers doing tenant organizing. And 36 years later now, the organization not only does tenant organizing, but provides a range of services and builds housing. So I understand the power of grassroots community organizations, that with the right leadership, they can become major forces in their neighborhoods.
Thank you. Actually, this is the program to inform our community about the various departments, city agencies are working for our city, so that we are connecting people with the different city agencies. So your department, community youth and community development, they are doing a lot of things. And you mentioned in your vision statement a lot of things. Actually, what you are doing, if you...
So I think when I go and talk to community groups, I always say that the Department of Youth and Community Development is the agency that no one has heard of, because we work behind the scenes. We don't provide services directly. What we do is important, though. We take money from the taxpayers and we provide funding opportunities to community-based organizations to provide services. And so you may not have heard of us, but you've heard of the programs that these groups run. For example, we just ended summer, so the Summer Youth Employment Program. This past summer, the city, through the network of community groups, provided jobs to 70,000 young people. The Summer Youth Employment Program has been around since 1963. It's the largest and oldest program in the country. We run after-school programs across the city.
So 70,000 people, they are working as a volunteer, or
No, they got paid minimum wage.
Oh.
So, and the minimum wage has gone up. So I think at some point in the next 2 years, minimum wage will be $15 a month. So this is, and now we had over 140,000 young people who applied online for the jobs. So there clearly is many more young people who want to work, but we do lotteries to ensure that there's equal access to these jobs. So you've never heard of DYCD, but many people have heard of the Summer Youth Employment Program. I myself, my first job ever was in the Summer Youth Employment Program in 1975. And so we run a range of programs. We run community centers in public housing and in schools. There are 185 of them now throughout the city in every neighborhood. We've just added 11 community centers. Again, DYCD gives the money to the community groups run the services. So we work with a network of hundreds and hundreds of community partners to serve different groups.
So the community center is managed by you, or?
No, it's managed by the community group. We issue what's called requests for proposals, which is a government way of saying this is an opportunity to apply for funding. and community groups apply, and then there's a rigorous process. Each proposal is read independently. I actually don't get involved at all in the selection. It's an independent process, and then different people review it to make sure that it's transparent, it followed all the rules, and then we select groups, and then we give them contracts to run these services. And it runs the gamut, like I said, from after school to summer jobs to community centers. We also provide funding to community groups to run residential programs for runaway and homeless youth.
So after school, what you're doing for after school?
So one of the mayor's major commitments when he ran for office almost 4 years ago was that he wanted to make sure that every young person who was in middle school had an opportunity to attend after-school services. So we launched in June of 2014 the SONIC, Schools Out NYC initiative, which is a middle school program for after school. So this last school year, we served 116,000 young people, and we were able to guarantee any young person who wanted to attend after-school services a seat.
What is the age?
The age is if you're in the 6th, 7th, and 8th grade.
Okay.
So that's middle school. So, and we just added 11 new programs this year because schools in the last few years have added 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. So we wanted to make sure any school that serves this age group has the opportunity to have an after-school program.
So this is a volunteer program, or
no?
What
We give money to community groups. They hire staff and they run the program.
Okay, and there is a minimum wage they are getting.
Oh no, the staff work. They said whatever. The young people who attend attend voluntarily. Mm-hmm. They don't get paid to attend a program. The staff who run the program get paid whatever competitive salary makes sense. So, for example, we require that each after-school program has an educational coordinator, someone who has a college degree and some background in education. They will obviously get paid whatever is the competitive salary for that position.
So you have also workforce development program for the youth.
Right. So the Summer Youth Employment Program is the largest, and we have different programs that work with young people who are not in school or not in the workforce, and they help provide services from resume writing to interview training, and we get them the skills to get them back into the workforce or help them apply for college. And then many of those programs also have paid internships. So when they're in the training program, they can also get a paid salary, again at minimum wage, for a specific type of job that might interest them.
Okay, and you have a program like Compass NYC?
Well, Compass is our after-school initiative. Compass stands for Comprehensive After-School System. So it's we wanted to come up with names that young people would appeal to young people, because that's the audience for these programs. So a lot of these internship programs that we have, we've rebranded them. So one of the programs that works with young people who are not in school and not in the workforce, we've rebranded it to Intern and Earn. Because one of the things in many of our programs, if a young person signs up and completes the program, and that's the most important thing, is that they have to complete the program, they get a paid internship. And so the thing that resonates with most young people is the word earn. So intern and earn, because we did focus groups and we learned that, we want to be able to communicate clearly with young people and the language that resonates with them, and the word earn is a word that they recognize.
Yes. So another program you have, like NYC Leaders for Leaders.
Ladders for Leaders. Yes, that's part of
Ladders for Leaders.
Yes, it's a summer. It's one of the many special initiatives under the Summer Youth Employment Program. We know that some young people have do very well in school, have previous work experience, and they can compete with other people who have connections for jobs in corporations or in media companies or in tech companies. So we've worked with the help of the Mayor's Fund and the Center for Youth Employment to begin to build connections with these employers to consider young people. Because if you grew up in Brownsville where I grew up in, you don't have the connections, your parents don't have the connections to these jobs. So the city, through the Mayor's Fund and the Center for Youth Employment, builds these relationships with these employers, and we ask that they consider these young people, and we send them on interviews, and if an employer wants to hire them, they can hire them, and then they're paid for by the corporation.
So this is employment.
It's an summer employment program, but what's different is that it's young people who have previous work experience, who have good grades, and who are suited to work in a corporate environment. And some young people, the one thing holding young people back from those type of job opportunities is they don't have the connections. Because, unfortunately, in the world we live in, it's still about relationships and networks. So we kind of bridge that gap, has the City of New York, with the help of the Mayor's Office, to begin to open doors for young people who might not have the opportunity to work at a tech company or to work at Time Warner or a real estate company. So it's one of the many strategies we use in the Summer Youth Employment Program. I mean, we understand that young people, because the age group is 14 to 24 who are eligible for the Summer Jobs Program. Young people are at different points in their lives. They have different sets of experiences. So you can't have a one-size-fits-all, and you have to have customized services for each age group. And for young people, for example, we have a program that sets aside jobs for young people who are homeless and live in family shelters, because we know those are...
We'll come back this point. This is a time to take a break. Viewers, we will take a quick break. We'll come back shortly. Stay with us.